What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Frankly Nuts podcast on this November morning.
Yeah,
A
crisp.
nice crisp morning for ourselves this morning.
Outdoors.
Outdoors we decided to change up the scenery a bit. And this week, what are we talking about?
So this week we put it to you guys what topics you want to see on the podcast, and you sent them in. So anything that is discussed on this week's podcast is all from you guys. So I suppose we have anything from the Kevin Spacey saga at the minute. You have the Simon Zebo off to France.
Yes.
Just among other things, we're going to give our predictions on the UFC, Premier
Yes,
League.
sporting weekend, yeah.
Exactly.
And top tips on our podcast.
Oh,
Starting a podcast and
Macros.
also, we'll give our
Yeah.
thoughts. So what do you want to start with, bud?
I suppose we kick it off with the Kevin Spacey saga, will we?
Okay, interesting.
Just get right in there,
Um,
get up amongst it. I
yeah.
suppose for anyone watching that hasn't seen it, I
What?
suppose.
So what actually happened? So first of all, right?
So
Let's talk through
supposedly,
it.
there was an actor. He was in Star Trek. Can you remember his name? But anyway,
No.
he's accused Kevin Spacey. So he went to a party at Kevin Spacey's when he was 14,
Okay.
and apparently, Kevin Spacey. No, this is all apparent.
Alleged.
Alleged, yeah. So what happened was that Kevin Spacey made a pass at him, laid on top of him, and humans accused him of, trying to sexually assault him.
Okay.
And that was 30 years ago. So now fast forward, Kevin Spacey's the main actor in House of Cards, biggest Netflix show, and he's been accused of this. He came out then on Twitter with a tweet and said that this was 30 years
When
ago.
did your man accuse him? Just during the week?
Yeah, last
Wrote
week.
a blog or an article or something, or
I'm not too sure of that.
Okay.
I just kind of saw the Kevin
the
Spacey.
accusations came to light. Now, okay.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just flicking through Facebook and saw
So
this.
Kevin Spacey responded himself.
Yeah, with a tweet, and basically he just said, look, this was 30 years ago. He doesn't remember, and if something did happen, he apologizes. He's very sincere, and then he actually, in the same tweet, he came out as gay and said that he wants to live the rest of his life as a gay man, which received a lot of backlash, because people were saying, you've been accused of sexual assault. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, bisexual, what you did was wrong. You shouldn't have came out as gay in that tweet, and so that's kind of what happened.
So in the tweet, he kind of said that he kind of used drunken behaviour first of all, and then that he didn't remember it happening.
Yeah.
And that if it did happen, he apologised to Arthur, whatever your man's name was.
He was
Apologies
a Star
to your
Trek
man.
actor anyway. He's pretty well known.
So talk to me about the tweet, your opinions of the tweet.
What I just don't like. Okay, so this happened last week, and even yesterday. Now Dustin Hoffman's been accused of the same thing on a set of a film 20 years ago, and both have been accused and said that they didn't do it, but if they did, they're sorry.
Yeah.
Straight
and what
away.
about the tweet?
The tweet, like as in his tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your opinion of his
I
tweet.
just think the way he said oh, I can't remember 30 years ago, and if I did it, I'm sorry. Don't apologize unless you've done it. Straight away, I think he's done it now because he's apologized. You know what I mean? You wouldn't apologize for something you didn't do.
Yeah.
Do you know? Is he just and the fact that he came out gay, I think he was just looking for sympathy. Do you know? Jesus, look, he's had it tough. He's been gay all this time. He's never came out.
Yeah, so I think with the tweet, it's extremely manipulative, right? So first of all, I think in the first part of the tweet, he uses the fact that he was drunk and inebriated and saying that if it happened and he doesn't remember it, and if it happened, he's sorry for it. I think he's trying to touch in with the emotions of your general public, because I think everyone can relate to being too drunk and doing something and not remembering it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe being told about it the next day or the next week. So I think he's really trying to relate to you there, right? I think it's a very manipulative tweet now. He's really trying to relate to you there, and then he's using a distraction method with the second part of the tweet, saying that he's had relationships with men and women all the way through his life, and that now many people notice, and he chooses to live as a gay man from here on out. It's just a pure distraction method.
Yeah.
Is he looking for you to say, "Oh, well done"? It's just who gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean? That has nothing to do with this. To be fair,
absolutely. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, or bisexual
it's actually, I find it arrogant and
what he did you shouldn't have done,
deceptive
allegedly.
and manipulative.
Yeah.
But I think most people are seeing through it. But
I just think the fact he apologizes, he's just after putting that doubt now, that you know, he did do it. Like, you shouldn't, like...
Well, the way he kind of words the tweet, it sounds like he did it. Like,
Yeah.
but again, it's just allegations. Actually, I read this morning that 8 members of the House of Cards cast, or the House of Cards team, anyway, a backroom team, are putting in allegations that he was involved in some passes or something. Anyway, so
Christ, that's not good. Like,
yeah,
you know,
it is all allegations, but we
and if 8 come out and say it, like, you know, there has to be some truth in it.
And speaking of, Harvey Weinstein is another one.
Yeah, another big, massive director in Hollywood. Like.
Yeah. So, have you been following that story?
Dribs and drabs. I haven't been following it as much as Kevin Spacey, because Kevin Spacey to me is a very well-known name. Yeah. Like, I know Harvey Weinstein is a massive name, but
like a director and all that kind of stuff.
I would have never followed his career, or, you know.
So basically, like, he was giving girls parts in movies if they'd fuck him, basically. You know, so
yeah, I was up in the getting a checkup or whatever one day there, and it was actually on the radio. There was a woman rang in and said that basically this was her first big break, and her agent had set it up, and she went to the film, and Weinstein was director, and he met with her and invited her back to his trailer, and apparently then that's when he made the pass, like, and she said no, like, I don't want to, and she was kind of shocked at the start, but she thought, is this Hollywood, like?
Yeah.
So she went off, she came into work the next day, and he did it again apparently, and then she kind of said, all right, like, this isn't how it works, like.
Yeah.
So she didn't end up getting the part, and she was just shocked, and she rang her agent, and her agent apparently knew that Weinstein was
this is the way he operates. Yes.
And he just kind of said, look, you had your chance.
That's it. Like, yeah. It's been going on for years, 20 or 30 years apparently. Like,
it's shocking. It's absolutely
so many women and subjects and all that. Like, but I suppose there's a couple of questions. Is why is it taking so long to come to light? That so many people knew of it. Why is it taking till now to come to light? And another point I would say is, for the few people who are speaking out, how many people did it and, you know, got movie parts and built massive careers off it, like, you know.
Yeah, it's like the domino effect. Like, once one comes out, they're all just kind of.
Yeah, it certainly makes it easier for others. Like, but
like, you had Weinstein, you've had Spacey, and now Dustin Hoffman was accused on the set of his film of doing it, and he strongly denied it. Like, he's 80 years of age now, but when it happened, he was in his 40s, and he was accused of it on the set of a film in the 80s, and he strongly denied it. But then again, he said, if it did happen, I apologise. So you can't deny it, but say, oh, if it did, I am sorry about that.
Yeah,
because
it sounds guilty, to be fair.
Absolutely. So I suppose that's my thoughts. I just think it's horrific, like, you know, it's vile.
All right, okay.
We'll
no more thoughts on it, so moving on.
Yeah, move on from that. I suppose, do you want to get into the...
Simone Zebo has announced during the week, well, Munster announced, it was announced
his contract,
that at the end of the season he's going to be moving to play rugby in France. So yeah, about that, what are your thoughts? So in the meantime then, the Irish squad has been announced. Look, first of all, Zebo's going to France. What are your thoughts on that?
I think, Joe, not many Munster players do it. They don't take that chance because, obviously, as we'll touch on, his second Ireland squad, but I think he said in the press that it was a dream to play for Munster. He did it. It was a dream to represent Ireland. He's done it. But being half French, it's always been his dream to travel over to France and take the chance. I think everyone should admire him for doing it. Like, you know, you don't want to look back on your career and have regrets. So
yeah. Well, I think
absolutely dead right. Like,
I think a massive motivating factor behind it is the money, because like he's looking to look after his family, obviously, and stuff like that, and they're the reasons he stated. And with rugby, like, he's probably on, I'm ballparking this, I would say he's on at the moment, he's probably on 150 to 200 grand Munster, and I would imagine going to France, you're talking half a mil to 700,000 ballpark figures. So
near as much as the soccer players, like.
No, it's not soccer money. Rugby money isn't soccer money, so
that's why you have to take the chance, I suppose, when it comes, like.
I just think, look, you could go to France for 3 years. You could earn in 3 years in France what you could get in 6, 7, 8 Munster, like, so. Fair play, I'd go. Work away money, like, do you know?
Absolutely.
Definitely go.
And then
then, in the meantime,
yeah, this is right.
The Irish squad has been announced. Joe Schmidt has announced his Irish squad, and Zebo has admitted.
Yeah, glaring omission from it.
Can I get your thoughts on that, bro?
At the start, like during the week, I always thought that this was some sort of rule that, like, I wouldn't be the biggest rugby fan, I wouldn't know the ins and outs of it, but
Disclaimer.
yeah, that like I would have thought that wherever you are, you can play for Ireland or whatever. And then I heard that there was this rule that Schmidt had brought in that basically if you go out
there
of
is no
Ireland,
rule, I don't think.
yeah, but it's his theory, like, isn't it?
It's, I suppose, semi-unwritten, but like John and Sexton would have done it under him, like.
Yeah, I think it's bollocks, really. Like, he should be able to represent his country, like.
Yeah, so
I know, you, like, go on.
my thoughts on it is, if you do this with him, and so John and Sexton did in the past, but John and Sexton was more or less deemed irreplaceable. Like, you probably had Paddy Jackson, Ian Madigan in behind him, who weren't to his level. Like, so with Zebo, I think that there are other players in those positions. So like, he can be not done without, like, but you know, they'll make do without him basically.
He kind of brings that X factor though to Ireland, like, you know, he is a big player for him, but
Yeah, but
I know.
by allowing him go to France, and if you still allow him to play for Ireland, why wouldn't every player go to France then, is my thought. That,
Yeah.
like, you want your best players playing your home country of Ireland, and you have big teams here, Munster, Leinster, Ulster, Connacht, so you want your best players playing here. If they all start leaving for 2-3 times the money, who's going to be playing here, like?
yeah,
And another factor is, I think the French season conflicts a small bit with the Irish rugby setup, that maybe things like training camps leading up to international and stuff, that the French season is currently going on then and stuff, so it's not a clear cut, like, he's off
It's
when
not-
Ireland
yeah.
are off,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
But
So
like, why is the money better in France than it is in Ireland? Like, do you know why is that? Like,
you tell me, like,
like, do you know, like,
you tell me. Maybe I would think maybe it's more regulated in Ireland, that the IRFU, like, are the ones who give out contracts in Ireland, I think, so it's kind of centralised, like.
yeah, every player kind of, yeah, okay.
But
like, I know you're
there's
kinda
just
say-
must be more money there, like.
Yeah, the fact that you're saying if Zebo is allowed to do it, other players will be it. But is there other players that are at Zebo's level? Do you feel that, do you know, if he went over, like,
If
Zebo's
they
a
went
big
over?
player, yeah, do you know, Zebo's probably
get the
better
same
than a lot
money.
of Irish players, like, is he not?
Well, like, you've the likes of Rob Kearney and stuff, like, who are equally as good, like, you know.
Yeah,
So,
that puts my argument to bed. Really.
um,
I just
it's just like those French teams and stuff, like, they have owners, like
would they almost
do
be
the
like
Irish player, do the Irish teams have own, like, who's the owner of Munster? I don't know. Is there an owner of Munster? Is it all owned by the IRFU?
yeah.
Like, there's centralised contracts and stuff like that. So that's why I think there would be more money in France and
France.
things like that. Like,
Would France be
it's a
seen
small
as
bit more like soccer.
the China of football? Would France be kind of that equivalent? Like, is there other countries you can play
I
rugby?
suppose it probably is the
Yeah.
most lucrative. Like, if you look at any of the boys from Australia and New Zealand and stuff who look to make money maybe towards the twilight end of their career, it's France they go to. It
Yeah.
seems to be like, but they have rules where you can't. If you go
If
to
you
France,
leave-
you're gone. Yeah.
Can't represent your
So
country.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's a kind of a sticky rule, right? Like, isn't it? It
I
must
just
have been a
think-
massive decision for him. Like, you know, representing your country is one of the biggest achievements you can do. Like, but then again, like,
I think it's quite an easy decision.
you want to
Quite an easy decision.
you want to secure the future of your family, I suppose. Off you
Absolutely.
go to France, like, and make your millions and come
Yeah,
home.
yeah, definitely. Step
And
up.
do you think he could go over for 3-4 years and
Come
there,
back.
there would be no issue him coming back? Would Munster take him back with open arms, do you feel? Or
I'd
would
say
they
so.
be
Like,
asked?
I don't think he'd be totally begrudged by Munster or anything. Like,
like the
do you know,
Munster
like,
fans
I
wouldn't
think
be
most. Nah, jeez, no. I don't think it's.
best of luck to him. Like,
Yeah. Jeez, earn your money, and
it's a lot different.
your
in football,
career's
like,
only
you know.
fucking 8 or 10 years long. Like, so
Yeah.
earn your money, look after yourself.
Absolute opposite in soccer. Like, a player goes in there, you know, get out of the club kind of a thing, booed on their return, and whereas I suppose rugby's always been that more respectful game. Like,
Oh yeah, definitely
You know, so-
more. I suppose of a gentleman's game and gentleman's crowd than a hooligan crowd. Like, you know.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, moving on from that, next topic. What do we got?
I think we had the top 10 things.
Oh yes,
you know,
top 10 tips for starting a
We're starting
podcast.
a podcast now. I don't know
So,
if we have
2
10.
experts here.
Yeah, you know, we're no
Uh,
experts, but like, I don't think I have 10, but
Sorry, no, I had a couple taken on my phone. Work away now. What
yeah,
did you have?
my first one would be to really think about your, like, what topics you want to discuss. That was a big one for us starting out. Anyone that we kind of
Bit of gutter noise there.
hopefully,
on anyway.
hopefully that doesn't overshadow the.
So
the-
think about your topics.
So, like, do you know, when we started pitching this idea to a lot of people, We tell them this is a podcast based around like so many different topics. We were saying we're going to cover from sport to business to music to entrepreneurship.
To travel.
And people kept looking at us saying, "Jesus, let's focus on sport.
You need a niche, yeah.
Focus on," and we were like, "No, absolutely not." And we went for it. So like we had that vision going into it that we had all these topics. I would, if you're starting off, know what you want. Don't just set it up.
Would you go for a niche though?
No, I'm not saying go for a niche, but I'm saying know what you wanna do. Like don't.
I think on that one, like, is do what you're most interested in, because I think that's the one you'll pump the most work into. Like
we were interested in all these different.
Yeah,
topics.
exactly. Like, you know, like we both like sport, we kind of like business, entrepreneurship, travel, but like we want to talk about all these things. So
that's why we're so broad.
Do the podcast on what you're passionate about.
Yeah, don't just do a business podcast because that's the most listened to in Ireland. Do what you want to do. Like you don't have to follow the system.
That's a fair point. I suppose I'll give one. I would just say invest in good audio for a start, because obviously a podcast, or one is video and audio, but listening to it is the key part of it. And even if you have, maybe you're just doing an audio podcast, make sure it's good audio and good mics, things like that. Like, and then if it's video, look, try and invest in a good camera or something. But good audio would definitely make the visuals better anyway. I suppose that's really what I'm trying to say. Like a good audio can make a mediocre video seem good, rather than a good video with poor audio, if you get me.
Yeah, absolutely. My next one would be not to overthink.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when we're heading into a podcast, it would be with a guest or with ourselves, like we kind of know the topics going into it, and I'm always trying to think about what I say, or I'd say, maybe I shouldn't say this or that.
Yeah.
What I'd say is just like say what comes to you. Like don't ever overthink it. Just what comes into your mind, say it, and just express yourself.
Exactly.
A podcast is a great way for you to just sit down and get out your thoughts, like get your point across. So
Another one I just had was just ignore haters, basically. Ignore downsayers, like ignore people who say you can't do it, or it'll be too tough, or you won't make it, whatever. Just ignore them and go for it, basically. Short and sweet. Do you have any more?
Jeez, you kind of threw it at me. I'll check on.
Need to raise the energy here, pal.
I have it there now in my notes. Sorry about the delay.
Okay, so while you're scrambling there, I'm going to say focus more on your content than your set. I think it's something that we would have been guilty of originally. Well, we do think we have good content, but we focused very heavily on our set and buying the chairs and the posters, and sure we didn't use half it. If you have good content, I don't think people will give a crap about your set, really. Do you know? Good content is the key.
Yeah, my next one, it's not about content, but the length of your content. Don't ever overthink that, you know. I think short and sweet may work as well in Ireland, because a lot of people, you know, they don't have the time maybe to sit down and watch a podcast. But then again, you have the flip side to that, where people are driving around, they're on the go, so they could listen to an hour podcast.
I agree. Long form conversation is a niche in itself. Like, you know, there is a specific audience who like long form stuff. Like, you know,
don't ever just set a time for a podcast. Sit down.
No, let the camera roll and see how long you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't ever waffle. Just get your good content. The minute it finishes, and
exactly. I suppose that'd be me.
Yeah, that's my last one.
Yeah, fair enough. So,
I suppose there wasn't 10 there, but take it out what you will. Like.
Yeah, top tips from two experts, lol. So what else do we have on our list now from people? Okay, so macronutrients for weight loss. Okay.
Fucking clue.
So we are two Recklage graduates with minimal knowledge of nutrition. Would you believe? So. Just personally, with like macronutrients, and obviously macronutrients are protein, carbohydrates, and what's the last one again?
I don't know. Like, I never understood.
Protein, carbs, and what's the other one?
Is it fat? I don't know.
Oh yeah, fats. Yeah. That goes to show us.
I had it in my head. So, is it wrong?
Only speaking from personal experience of actually kind of tracking your macros, as a lot of fitness people do, or counting your calories. I use an app called MyFitnessPal, and maybe a year and a half ago, and just went to the gym for a bit. MyFitnessPal, ate well, and kind of tracked my macros, and did find massive results with it, that I trimmed down a bit and all that, and that app was brilliant for it. So I would say use the app. But the question was macronutrients for weight loss, and they're lost with the topic. So the guy we talked in podcast 10, Brian Keane Fitness.
Genius, yeah.
He does Q&As every day, nearly. So Snapchat, Instagram, he runs them on a daily basis. He opens every Snapchat. He listens to every Instagram question, and he's the guy really. I would, if you're looking for proper information on it, I would Brian Keane Fitness.
Even for training program, he does a HIIT program every Monday morning, like 20-minute quick workout. Like if you're stuck for time, check him out. Like he's unbelievable.
But hit up Brian. He is the macro knowledge.
Macro king.
So last topic, sporting weekend, big one coming up. By the time this podcast is out, all these events will have happened.
Yeah.
So
we'd start, I suppose, with the first one.
Yeah,
would be
Saturday night,
the UFC.
Yeah.
So 2:17, you have the
New
three
York
big
City,
fights.
Madison Square Garden.
Michael Bisping versus GSP is the main event. The co-main, then you have Cody Garbrandt and TJ Dillashaw, and then you have Joanna Jacek, and is it Rose Namajunas?
Yes, on the ball, Namajunas.
To pronounce.
Yeah,
but they're the three biggest fights.
And you also have Masvidal and Wonderboy, yeah.
Wonderboy, yeah.
So do you want to predict the 4 fights?
4 fights, yeah.
This is coach fans, not experts. Coach fans predictions.
Yeah.
Quick, I'm gonna run through. So Masvidal, Wonderboy.
Wonderboy.
Rose or Joanna. And Cody or Dillashaw.
Cody.
And Bisping or GSP.
Bisping.
Hit me with mine.
So Masvidal, Wonderboy.
Wonderboy.
Okay, we're the same. Rose, Joanna.
Rihanna.
Okay. Cody, DJ.
That's the closest one of them all, but I will say Cody just based on him dismantling Dominic Cruz. But I think TJ be a smarter fighter, but I think Cody just will have that bit of firepower, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the big one, GSP Bisping.
I'm just gonna say Bisping out of
Activity.
GSP been out for so long, yeah.
4 years, and he's fighting a middleweight.
He's probably
he's gone up from 170, like, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's
so
15 pounds, like.
Bisping's a bigger man, and but Bisping's been out of action for a year as well. But GSP's been out for about 4 years, so
yeah.
I never saw much of him ever. Like I obviously came in on the Conor McGregor wave, which was after
but even his last UFC
GSP.
fight was against Johnny Hendricks, and GSP won a decision.
Yeah.
But Hendricks had absolutely battered him in. It was just that's why I think
Flawed,
GSP left. Like, because
okay.
his credibility was kind of dwindling a bit, and
I think there was big talks with the Reebok deal as well. Yeah. He's some gig with Under Armour.
Yeah.
And the Reebok deal, obviously, they're getting like, certain
pittance compared to what they were getting.
The big guys getting pittance, the small guys are getting reasonably well paid, basically for it.
So that's the UFC.
Let's judge it now on Sunday night.
We'll even have a little table of fairness.
Yeah, it's currently Friday morning.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we did.
The next then will be Sunday, so you have Arsenal Man City.
Yeah, okay.
Chelsea United.
Mm-hmm.
2 massive games in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So who do you think?
Who's at home in the Arsenal City game?
Let me check for you.
So I know Chelsea are at home to United.
Yeah.
Big game.
2 seconds.
Jose going back to Stamford Bridge.
Man City are at home.
City 3-1.
You think 3-1?
Yeah. City are balling right now. Like.
They are balling. I think it'll be a tight game.
Okay.
I think Arsenal will bring their game 2-1 City.
2-1 City. Okay, yeah. Both going for City. And Chelsea Arsenal. Chelsea United.
Chelsea
Jose
United.
back to Bridge.
United.
Score?
I think 2-0.
I'm going to say United 1-0.
I think Chelsea are just so out of form at the minute.
They are out of form.
They're like headless chickens at the back, and I think United are.
I think you'll see classic Jose.
Classic. He'll park the bus.
Yeah, park the bus 1-0.
Lukaku,
Rashford, someone to nab one like. And
absolutely.
then we have our own city of Cork City playing up in Aviva.
City,
Supposed to be going, so I am. Premium level
Supposedly.
seats, would you believe? As I'm an Irish FAI season ticket holder, and we've been upgraded now to premium level seats for this Sunday's game. So Cork City versus Dundalk.
Yeah, big one for City. Is this 3 in a row now if they win?
3 in a row cup finals. Well, they've been in the cup final, but not winning.
But they've been there now 3 years.
2 years ago, Dundalk beat them. Richie Toll, 117th minute winner.
Yeah.
And then last year, Shawnee, our boy from podcast number 1. Check it out if you haven't already.
Plug.
He got the winner. That was extra time as well, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
thoughts on it? What do you think?
I think City are going to win it in normal time, 2-1.
You think?
Yeah. No, they're not in great form. They stumbled over line winning the league, but this is the big occasion.
That's right. I was just trying to get that.
Occasion. Go on.
I'm flipping my script, and I think Dundalk will beat them. I just think What was
Where
it?
are we right now? Like,
We're in Cork City, yeah, but you have to be realistic as well. Like, I think, like, Cork City tried to win the league there for the last
but like, do you
10
know,
weeks. Like, since
what about supporting your own?
like, yeah, support your own, but
Support your own.
this
like,
is my prediction.
Like, you're a
like,
big Liverpool fan. If Liverpool were playing Barcelona, who would win?
Barcelona.
Oh, you're not
Like, you
being
have
clouded
to-
now. Like,
you
if I
have
asked
to-
you on a normal day, you'd say Liverpool 3-1.
I wouldn't. If you've
Like,
been listening to me the last
back
few
your
weeks,
heart.
if you've been listening to me last few weeks, I've been saying Liverpool are bang average at the minute. They're bang average. We're nothing at the minute.
I don't want to get bogged down in
And
Liverpool anyway.
I just
So
think
look, you're not
Cork
supporting
City,
your own anyway. Is it?
I'll support the lads, but I just think you asked me for my prediction.
All right.
This is my prediction.
Look,
like.
you're entitled to it. You're
Yeah,
entitled
absolutely. I think
Okay.
Dundalk will beat them 2-1.
2-1. I'm saying City 2-1,
I think.
and hopefully be there to witness this
to
in a
witness it.
premium level.
Jeez, I'd love if Cork City proved me wrong and went off and won it.
I'd
like.
love it as well. Yeah, we'll clip this bit. So that's it, bro. Have you
that's-
anything else to talk to me about?
Absolutely.
Short and sweet.
That was quick, yeah. We asked you for your topics, and that's what you wanted answered in this week's podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose just like, share, subscribe.
Yes,
down
please
below.
do actually. Yeah, we probably haven't made enough of a
push at that.
plea for that. Yeah. So if you're watching on Facebook, hit us a like or leave us a comment.
Absolutely. Tag
if you're
your
watching
friends.
on YouTube, tag your friends. Yeah,
Share
yeah,
it.
yeah.
A share would just
Give
be
us
absolutely massive.
give us your honest feedback. If you think it's brutal, tell us it's brutal.
That's massive, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cry if someone says that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
shit.
I don't want to be vanilla. Like I'd
Yeah.
prefer to be Marmite. You know.
Absolutely, yeah.
Love us
Let
or
us know
hate
what
us.
you think of it.
Yeah. I
Quick share on
suppose-
Facebook. A quick like wouldn't go straight. And just on YouTube, if you could watch it on that then as well.
And just hit us a subscribe. You don't need a YouTube account. Hit us a subscribe.
Gmail.
Account. Sign into your Gmail. Then just go to youtube.com. You can click the subscribe button, please. So yeah, perfect.
That's it.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
Good chatting.
Enjoy
to you.
Sunday now, and hopefully Sunday night you can prove me wrong with it.
Yeah, and let us know what you thought of the change of scenery. Crisp November air.
The
November
only thing
morning.
now with the gushing, but look,
I'm
we'll get over
freezing
it. And my nose, I
pack
have a
off,
bit of a
to be
cold.
fair, so
Cool,
yeah.
sorry for that if I was sniffling, but yeah, enjoy the
Thanks
game,
for
guys.
sitting down with me today. Take
Yeah.
it easy, brother.
Take
and
it easy.
guys, see you later.
Bye-bye.